you would think everybody wants a landmark or something that people would recognize, but I would say 95% of the people I design homes for, they want to look like someone else. They don't want to stand out in the neighborhood. They're scared to come up with something that is going to not sell in the future. So they're very cautious about design.
That makes this even more unusual.
Absolutely, yeah. This is every architect's dream to do a home like this. I think once we start getting all the material and this thing starts taking shape, I have no doubt that it's going to be national recognition, because what we're using out here is a precast panels. This is something that's not typically ever done. It's brought out here on a flatbed. They erect it, they put it into place, and the insulation value of these walls is astronomical. I mean, we've got a high R value of these walls. With the type of construction, all this stuff is done off-site. The level of detail and attention and putting everything together can be done elsewhere, brought out here, and you know, it can look really, really nice. Normally what you would see is the slab is poured prior to the walls being done, but the sequence of construction, you basically have to pour the slab after the fact. It's going to be post-tension, and they'll pour the slab up to the walls. Everything is going to be underneath the slab. They've got geothermal, heating and air, radiant flooring. Everything's going to be underneath the slab. So right now, that's what they're doing right now. They've got some footings dug. You can see some of the ductwork, big chases that are being put in over on that end. And actually, kind of where you're standing, that's some heating and air. So I want to take you through a little walkthrough of the house. This is going to be the front door area. All these concrete walls are put on footings. They have embeds on them, so they're in place, but you've got a couple of these walls that are in place, but they're going to hold them up with these rods so they don't fall down. We've got some pretty strong winds out here. The house is going to be designed for hurricane winds, 150 miles per hour, once it's completed, but not right now. Everywhere that you don't see a wall is going to be glass, so all the voids you see is glass. And all around the perimeter, we're going to have a 2-foot section of clear story glass that sits on top of the walls. So you walk in, you've got this big mass in front of you. They're going to put some wall art up, but this is a fireplace on the other side. This is the living room and kitchen. And then this area right here is going to be all glass. It's going to open up to the backyard. And what they've done is we've got a huge pool deck. Beyond that, we've got a pond that's dug. It's going to be a real shallow pond, so everything you see in the line of sight goes straight out that way. So we're going to have a pool with an infinity edge, and then on the other side of that, we've got a pond. This was a bit of a structural nightmare. Well, you know, they had to really think this one through, but we have this fireplace that's standing here. It's going to be a see-through. That over here is where the bed wall is for the master bedroom, and this is going to be the seating area. You're going to have this big see-through fireplace on both sides, and then on the upper portion is going to be this floating roof, and we're going to have 4 columns that will be supporting that, and then they have glass underneath. So we have to have a real rigid structure, because if there's any deflection in the ceiling or the roof, the glass is going to crack and it's going to break. So we got to make sure that it's supported very well. So you can see they got the footings dug here. Going to have some pretty significant footings. And if we could have seen the footing that's underneath this fireplace, it was enormous, because it's carrying quite a bit of load and it's got to be very rigid. Where we're standing now is the pool deck area. You're looking back into the great room, kitchen, the big linear fireplace, but this entire area right now is going to be the pool deck and the pool, and we're going to have the infinity edge. Over here is the cabana. Again, we've got about a 30-foot span of glass, accordion doors that are going to open up. And the slab level right now, we're probably about 5 foot below where the finished floor is going to be. So they're going to have to bring in more dirt, fill this area up, and of course you're going to have a pool, so that's probably why we haven't brought in the dirt yet. But at some point, this is going to come up to about right here, and everything's all on one level. There's not going to be any steps, any transition lines. All the doors and everything are going to be flush mounted so that we don't have any steps or anything on the house. So this is going to look completely monolithic. And when you look out here, you see the infinity edge, you'll just see the water dropping off, and then we'll see a nice shallow pond out there. This to me is the best part. I mean, we're here in Broken Arrow, you know, we're next to the city, but it feels like we're out in the middle of nowhere. It's country, and they want to come here and feel like they're not in Oklahoma. Right now, they're looking at pouring the slab in a couple of weeks. Currently, we're reviewing shop drawings on the steel structure. We're going to have steel columns sitting on top of the concrete walls. We'll have some major beams and columns to span these big distances to hold up the roof. So there's a lot of steel that's going to be included in this project. Right now, we're reviewing the shop drawings. Those will be fabricated, be erected, brought out. The glass people have to come out here, field verify, measure everything, so it's a sequence of construction. Once we pour the slab, they'll probably try to enclose it the best they can so they can try to work on the inside at the same time, but we've got to have the steel in place, then we bring out the roof, and then they can really work on the inside.